Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you after what has been a very, very good win for Mikel Arteta's side here at King Power. Apologies for doing this outside at the stadium, but I ran out of time inside. But given the nature of the win, the nature of the performance, I thought it was definitely best that I record a video now just to talk a little bit about the game and give my player ratings, because there's going to be, for once this season, quite a lot of good ratings in the when it comes to it, because there was plenty of good performances. Just on the game itself, I mean, fantastic result. I honestly think this was the best 90 minutes performance of Arsenal's season so far. There's been some good wins. I mean, you look at the win at Old Trafford, it's been so long since Arsenal won at United, so that was always going to be a big win for them this season. But I think over the nature of the whole 90 minutes, I think this was Arsenal's best performance, especially considering you think they conceded a goal early on with that really one sloppy error, and the fact that they came back late from Benfica, only got back on Friday, travelled up to Leicester yesterday, to fall behind early on to a sloppy goal. You kind of feared the worst, but the response was really, really good. I mean, this was an excellent performance. Arsenal dominated, I thought, from start to finish, really take that one sloppy goal out of it. And they got themselves back in front before half-time, which was really, really important, because they looked for a long time in that first half, despite dominating, they were going to go in trailing. They missed a couple of decent chances. Willian dragged one shot wide. Pepe miscued after a really good break when Tierney found him, and you thought, oh no, they're going to go in, despite having the better of this first half, they're going to go in behind again. And it's kind of going to be similar to, say, the Aston Villa game, when they conceded straight away and then enjoyed all the possession and with a better team, but couldn't find a way back. But then they got the goal at 1-1 to get themselves sort of back into the game, deservedly so. David Luiz, a lovely little free kick from Willian, glancing header from Luiz, good header in fact, to make it 1-1. And then just before half time they went 2-1 in front for a penalty. I mean, how on earth it took VAR to award that penalty? It was the most blatant handball from Ndidi. Really good break from Arsenal again. Willian, who was really good today, driving forward. It was the sort of Willian that we come to know at Chelsea, not what we've seen at Arsenal so far. Driving forward to turn into sort of defence into attack, slipping the ball through. I think it was to Odegaard, and Odegaard found Pepe. Pepe's shot, I mean, blatant handball by Ndidi, and somehow the referee didn't give it, and then it went to VAR, and eventually the right decision was given, and Arsenal rewarded the penalty. Lacazette stuck it away well. 2-1 at half time. You thought, he'd really go on and win this in the second half, and Pepe, who was excellent throughout, made it 3-1 after a really good counter-attack early on in the second half. Again, Willian heavily involved. He was the one who got the assist, but Odegaard's pass to Willian was great. Odegaard played a big part in the move for the second goal and the move for the third goal. He came on for Smith Rowe, who got injured late on in the first half, so he had a big performance as well. And from that point on, 3-1, Arsenal always in control of this one. They never looked like they were going to let it slip. They went close to adding to that lead a couple of times. Auba having one shot wide, he came on in the second half. Auba, Xhaka didn't even have to come on. It was just a really solid, good performance all round from Arsenal. And Arteta made the changes, 6 from the team that won at Thursday night. You saw that starting 11. You perhaps were a little bit worried about what was going to happen, but everyone who came in played their part today in what has been a thoroughly good Arsenal victory. Like I said, I believe it's the best 90 minutes performance of the season so far. Let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments below. I will have a read as always. I've got to start the long journey back home after this, but when I get back in, I'll flick through and see what you've had to say and what you make of today's victory for Arsenal. Mikel Arteta speaking afterwards. I mean, he's obviously very, very happy. I will go into this a little bit more detail in the video that I'll try and record tomorrow. Looking at this one, but I asked him, is this your best 90 minutes of the season? He said, I don't know, but I'm certainly happy with the performance and the team and the character and the composure we showed. We had some good moments, really solid, dominated and deserved the win. On Willian, he said he was really good today. We've seen it in training the last few weeks. I think he's revealing himself now. He's not accepting this situation. He's a player who changed the game against Benfica when he came on. I think he was terrific today. On Granit Xhaka, who again I thought Xhaka was fantastic today. So I think a player that's played that many minutes to play with the heart and passion he showed in every action, I think it's a great example for the rest of the players. And he praised Nicolas Pepe as well, said he grew into the game, had a really big impact, and a little bit of praise for Lacazette as well. The senior players basically, who came in today in the changes. They all stepped up, and that's exactly what Arteta would have wanted before the game. Before I get into my ratings, just on Smith Rowe's injury, Mikel, not sure what the extent of it yet, but he said it was probably, it didn't look good, and the fact that Smith Rowe said that he had to come off is never a good sign, because Smith Rowe tends to carry on regardless. But we'll have to wait over the next couple of days to see the extent of that. But Mikel said it was something to do with his hip. Right, let's get on to player ratings then, shall we? Like I said at the start, it's going to be some good ones for one of the first times this season throughout, because I think it was a really solid team performance. Bernd Leno in goal didn't have too much to do, but he had to deal with a few distance shots that he coped with pretty well. Had no chance with Tielemans' goal. So I'm going to give Bernd Leno a 7. Mari and Luiz, I thought, did really well. I saw Mari coming in for a bit of criticism for the first goal, for Leicester goal. Maybe he could have come over to cover, but he was covering Vardy, and I think if he'd have come over to sort of block Tielemans, then he would have just left Vardy absolutely open in the centre. I think it was more that El Neni didn't come across from the defensive midfield position to try and sort of narrow the angle for Tielemans, or at least put some pressure on him as he got into the box. So I thought it was more El Neni's fault than Mari, but each to our own. Everyone's got their own opinion, but I thought Mari did really well. There was one part in the second half when Vardy went through and you thought Vardy's going to get away here, but Mari coped with it really, really well and came away with the ball. So another good performance. Every time I see Mari play, I'm impressed with him. I think he's a really good defender. He gets a 7 for me. Luiz gets a 7 as well. I thought he was very solid, really good goal, really important goal as well, from Willian's free kick. So both centre-backs get a 7. Tierney and Cedric, they both get 7s as well. I thought Cedric was good. I thought Cedric and Pepe down the right, they combined really nicely. I think we've said it time and time again this season that maybe there's an issue when it comes to Bellerin and Pepe when they play together. They don't combine too well, but I thought Cedric and Pepe today showed a really good understanding down that right-hand side. And for me, I think Cedric's got to be putting loads of pressure on Hector at the moment. Mikel must really be thinking about whether that could well be a sort of change he needs to make over the second half of the season, and maybe Cedric being the first choice right back. So those two get 7s for me. El Neni, like I said, I thought he was more at fault for the first goal, for the Leicester goal, but having said that, I also thought he had a pretty good game, El Neni. Other than that, made a couple of nice sort of first touch forward passes we don't really see too much from him as well, that sort of split the lines a little bit and suddenly got Arsenal the attack. So credit to El Neni. I'm going to give him a 7. I'm going to give Granit Xhaka an 8. I thought Xhaka was fantastic, really, really good. Again, he's playing very well at the moment. So Xhaka gets an 8. I'm going to give Willian and Nicolas Pepe, they both get 8s for me. I'm giving Willian man of the match. I know quite a few have given Pepe man of the match. He got a goal, obviously Willian didn't, but I just thought Willian, especially in that first half, was excellent. But they both were. It was neck and neck for man of the match. Either of them could have get it. But the fact they both came in a game like this and did the job that Arteta wanted on the flanks for them, caused Leicester all sorts of problems. I mean, Pepe absolutely roasted Thomas in the first half, and Thomas had to get dragged off at half time. He's going to have nightmares about Pepe running at him. But the two of them, I just thought, excellent performances. Either of them could get man of the match, but I'm just giving it to Willian. But I'm sure plenty of you will want to give Pepe your man of the match, but very, very close for me. So they both get 8. Smith Rowe, I'm going to have to give a 6 just because he didn't even make it at half time through injury. Unlucky for Smith Rowe. I didn't think he'd played particularly well when he was on, though. Couldn't really get into the game too much, so he gets a 6. And Laka, I'm going to give a 7 too. I thought Laka led the line really, really well, took his penalty perfectly, and just a really solid performance from him. Substitutes came on. Odegaard, excellent, played a big part in the second and third goal. He gets a 7 for me. I can't really mark Orba, he wasn't on for too long, and Partey as well. They both did well when they came on. I thought Partey especially moved the ball quickly and got Arsenal's moving on the attack. So if I was going to have to give him a rating, I'd give him 7, but he's just not. He was only on the pitch for sort of half an hour or so, just less than that. And Orba was pretty bright when he came on, but I'm certainly not going to give him a rating. So that's it from the King Power. Fantastic win for Arsenal. It's finished here. Leicester 1, Arsenal 3. I'll speak to you soon.